Welcome to the most horsepowerful podcast on the internet, the Xbox Drive. Before we get this show on the road, please take a moment to like, subscribe, and ring that bell on YouTube, and leave a 5-star rating or review on your podcatcher of choice. If you want to continue the conversation after the show, make sure you join the Carpool Gaming Discord. For exclusive content and all the Carpool shows in one simple feed, head over to patreon.com/carpoolgaming. Finally, head over to carpoolgaming.com for all of your merch needs. Now, with all that out of the way, you better buckle up, Buttercup, because it's time for the Xbox Drive.
Greater than X.
Hey everyone, it's me, Sean Capri. I'm glad you're here because you're listening to the most horsepowerful podcast on the internet. It's the Xbox Drive. I'm on a Skype call with my good friends Fee, and way down from down under, we got the koala herself. Welcome, Fulya, to the Xbox Drive. How are you?
I'm good. Just woke up and, I'm here. I've got my orange juice, no pulp.
Oh, I love orange. Man, we're coming right out of the gates. Was that, are you slamming pulp?
No pulp.
But is that because pulp is hot trash in the summer? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
I honestly, I wouldn't say that. I don't mind juice with pulp, but I prefer without pulp.
Wow.
Fee?
Yes.
I'm a pulp fan.
I like pulp. Yep.
Yeah.
I like Pulp Fiction, and I like pulp in my orange juice.
Heck yes.
Very good. Yes, Fee, of course. Welcome back. Welcome back to the show. Good to have you.
Thank you.
Good to see you.
Thank you. It's
How
nice
you doing?
to be here.
How you feeling?
Super excited to be here, Sean. Super excited.
Me too. Me too. How? All right. Should I say how you going?
How you going?
Yeah. How you going?
Yeah. Exactly.
We are Mitchless. Mitch is resting peacefully, of course, as is Bowser, as we are on the road to Extra Life. Just a couple of weeks away, we will all get together. We're going to raise a whole bunch of money, which you can do right now. As you listen to this and or watch this, we are recording live, youtube.com/carpoolgaming, twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live, but we'll get more into that in a little bit. We're going to start this show like we do each and every week with our geek outs or shout outs. Fulya.
Hi.
You got a geek out for us? What are you geeking out about? Welcome in, by the way. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. So I am geeking out about it, and it's something that I did for work, and I'm actually kind of low-key proud of it. And Fee, you'll also be, really interested to know that I drew up a banner for my workplace.
Heck yes. Okay.
I posted it in the Discord in the pictures of our live section. And it's essentially, there's a competition running for staff, where if you draw up a banner for the new Ninja Luxe Cafe, that Ninja coffee machine,
Yes.
You get a chance to win said coffee machine.
Whoa.
And it's one per store. And I was like, I volunteer as tribute. I want to do it. I've been eyeing off this coffee machine for so long, ever since I heard about it. And so I actually made a banner for it. And it's essentially, it's pretty much a banner that's up there to promote the machine itself. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. It took me a couple of days to sort of draw it out and get it right and make it look nice. But it was good fun to experiment and make my first banner for the store, actually.
Very nice. I love it.
Yeah.
Listen, I have to apologize right out of the gates here. A, because I'm Canadian, and B, I'm a bad host. For those who don't know you, Fulya, you come to us from our podcast, The Mini Indie Van, as well. You're here to talk about Keeper as well. But let people know right off the gates, where can people find you on the internet, all the other good stuff you want them to know about?
Of course. So you can definitely find me on the Mini Indie Van Indie Game podcast, which is a monthly podcast about indie games. And I will also mention, just quick shout out to our October episode, which featured the one and only Carl Stevenson from 61 Indie and the Trophy Room. He was an absolute delight to have a chat with, so definitely go have a listen to that. I had a really good fun chatting with him with that. And then just in general, if you want to, I do stream and make videos on YouTube and Twitch. You can go find me at Foolish Fuji. Otherwise, head on over to foolishfuji.com for everything else.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, one of our
okay.
wonderful hosts focused on indie games as well. And you tackled Keeper. And so we will get there
did.
in the What You Playing.
Yes.
You played Keeper. Reviews are out. We're here to talk about it. This is our official coverage of the latest Xbox Game Studios game. I cannot wait to hear about it. You haven't told me a damn thing. So that's fine.
I've been embargoed this whole time.
That's very. I think you could have, so it's a choice. And so Ryan, who used to host this show, like is infamous for not. And so Ryan and I are actually playing another game. We'll get to that in a little bit. I have no idea what he thinks. I have no idea what Ryan thinks. So, Fee, what are you geeking out about or shouting out about over there?
Okay, Sean, last week it was my episode of the Pants podcast, and I specifically went on a rant, if you will, about a specific show called American Horror Story. And so I have trailed through. I say I trailed through. I specifically watched enough so I could watch my favorite season of the show, and now I'm into one of the least favorite seasons for myself. And yeah, I've been kind of going back and forth on it, mostly because, for context, each season is almost like a standalone story, but they are interconnected. So, for example, my favorite season is Coven, which is about empowering women, but also a lot of murder. Surprise. So it's about women who live in a coven in Louisiana. And then the season that I'm currently in, which is Freak Show, I'm not a huge fan of. I am trying to get through it so I could try to understand the ins and outs. But yeah, I am geeking out about it mostly because I've been kind of going back and forth am I going to continue with this, because there's a multitude of other seasons. And so my plan is, yes, I am going to try to watch through it to see what happens in the later seasons, because even though at the beginning the whole preface was they were going to be completely separate, but then there are no spoilers, there are connections with each. So yeah, that's currently consuming my life, other than it's that and books, Sean. That and my library, going to my local library and using things like Libby and Hoopla, which are
Libby.
apps.
Oh, Hoopla. I know Hoopla. Yes. These are digital books. You got on an e-reader. You rent digital assets from the library, it will never stop to fascinate me.
Well, I do audiobooks, Sean.
There you go.
Because
Yep, that's
you know
digital.
why? Yeah, rather than spending copious amounts of money, because now sometimes audiobooks can be upwards of $60. So
What? I had no idea. Is that real?
Oh, 100% real. 100%. It is
I was
wild.
gonna say that's why
Yeah.
I subscribe to the Audible, because you
not
get
sponsored.
a credit one per month, and
Yeah.
it's for me at least, I think it's $16 or $17 a month, and then you get one credit
Yeah.
for one audiobook, and it's actually pretty good, pretty decent.
Well, there's that, and now I know Amazon Music, not sponsored, also has you get Audible with it, and then Spotify, not sponsored, you get 15 hours.
Nobody sponsors us.
Nobody sponsors.
We're sponsorless.
But if you want to sponsor, hello.
Yeah.
I will talk about audiobooks every week. No, it's there's just so many different options. So then I ended up fun story. I actually didn't go to my library for so long that they defaulted or canceled my library card. I had to get a new library card, and then got shamed by the librarian who made my library card. And yeah, that was fun. Yeah, she made fun of me because I had to tell her my actual my very first email, and then it didn't bring up an account, and then she's just wow, that's pretty nerdy, and I'm like, it sure is.
Wow, lady,
Judging.
come on.
Yeah, she was cool. Shout out to that librarian. But yeah, it's been a wild ride, Sean. I will say Libby is a little bit annoying, because it's just oh, you have 2 weeks and then it gets released out into the mythos. Whereas Hoopla is you have 21 days to listen to it and it's instant. And I'm like, shout out Hoopla. So yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah. Shout out libraries.
I'm with you, man. Libraries
know.
rule. You just get to take it. They just give it to you, and they're like, I'm sure you'll bring it back. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Came in the chat, asked, what was your first email, Fee? That's the hard-hitting questions we all want to know.
I'm not going to give the full email, but it is based off of my favorite historical figure from history, which was Joan of Arc. So I'm not going to give you my actual email because you know what? That's doxing me, and I don't need you to find out my email. But yeah, it was associated with that because you know what? Who doesn't love a leading female in history. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
I think you mean Joan of Arc. We do soft J's
Oh.
around these parts. So Joan of Arc.
Yeah.
Anyway, very nice. Okay. As for me, I am going to do a shout out, actually. And it's going to lead into our housekeeping. We don't even have Mitch to have our button here. I have a shout out for 3 people. I have a shout out for Yarden, Tony Baker, and Skinny Matt, a.k.a. Thin Matthew, a.k.a. Matt Boy Slim. The names keep coming for Skinny
They
Matt.
don't stop coming.
Thank you all. You guys have, these are our 3 donors that we've had this week for Extra Life. And I would say that officially kicks things off. We are now well over $700 US, which for Fulya and I, actually all 3 of us, this is worth a tremendous amount in our respective currencies in our,
I was
in our
going to say,
various
this
countries.
is the Commonwealth podcast today.
That's right. That's right.
Heck yeah.
So thank you guys so much for doing that. We are on the road to Extra Life in upstate New York. A bunch of us are going to be there together. Fulya, I will see you again very soon in real life. Very cool. And we take this very seriously. Last year we raised over $10,000, and I think we can do it again, everybody. We're going to have a great time. We've got a lot of great plans for you guys. We're going to have a good time. And so look forward to that. We'll be streaming on November 8th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for 24 hours or more.
Or more. Or what?
We will see. We will see. So my shout out this week is to everybody who has supported us at Extra Life so far. We've had a bunch of donations coming in already, but this week I've been streaming in the morning. And it's been kind of nice. Like I wake up Monday, Wednesday, Friday, nice and early, been playing some stuff. And that's where we've been encouraging people to go donate over there. So thank you guys so much for that. Now, a little bit of housekeeping, if we can do a little housekeeping. Is the housekeeping lady even here? I don't even know.
Housekeeping.
There she is. You can see the housekeeping lady actually like wake up there for a second. That was fun to see in real life there. All right. Just a couple quick notes here for you guys. Of course, Fee mentioned you were on the Pants Patreon podcast for Patrons Podcast. And I actually thought you were going to be geeking out about your ad reads, which are spectacular.
Thank you.
Worth the price of admission. You can get that, of course, at the $5 exclusive tier. And if you don't think you want to do that right away, there's a free tier. There's a free sign up. You can try 7 days. The only caveat is you will physically not have enough time to go through all of the content. There's literally thousands of posts at Patreon. So we're doing it for you guys. We appreciate all the support. Of course, we do the Nintendo Drive post show. And a couple quick notes about our Backtrackers game, Ravenous Devils. If you guys want to play Ravenous Devils and chat with a bunch of cool people, October 25th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time. It's in the Discord. It's free to join. The link is in the show notes, so go ahead and do that. And the Book Crafters theme. Do you want to talk about the Book Crafters, Fee? You're in the Book Crafters. Are you good with that?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I could totally talk about it. So yeah, last month we had talked about all things fall related. This month we're talking about all things spooky. Like books. Ooh.
Books.
So no, we don't have a specific book that you need to read, but you can like read any specific book that you're interested in that are on the topic of spooky, maybe just Halloween in general. Maybe you're not a horror fan. Maybe you want to read more of a cozy vibe. That's a-okay. Everyone is welcome, which is really exciting. And last month we all brought our different arts, whether it was cross-stitching, Lego, paintings, sketches. The world is your oyster. So anyone is welcome, or maybe you're an audiobook reader like myself. You're welcome to join. Exactly, Fulya. Because you know what? Why not take an opportunity to not only listen to a book, but also work on some arts.
Listen to other people talking about the book.
Exactly. Why not? It's a lot of fun.
Pretty good.
So, yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
October, actually, is that the same day? Same day, October 25th, 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Don't miss it. It's just a lovely group of people chatting up pretty much on a daily basis over there, which is very nice. Mitch joins us in the chat, says, I can't read. So I guess we'll...
to read.
Audiobooks.
I mean, audiobooks. Yeah, she just said that.
You have
That's
no
what I do.
excuse anymore, Mitch. No
I listen to
excuse.
audiobooks.
Audiobooks are the best.
Yarden jumps in and says, I think commitment is pretty spooky. Does that count, Fee?
Absolutely. 100%.
Fear of
Whatever
commitment?
you interpret as spooky. Commitment is spooky. Absolutely.
There you go. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Well, go check that out. The Discord link, of course, is in the show notes, as I mentioned. It is free to join. Just do it and be nice. And it's great. Now, Extra Life. Go to extra-life.org/participant/carpoolgaming to go donate. I want to tell you guys about some cool prizes. And a lot of these prizes are donated by the Carpool Gaming hosts, and we still got more to come to tell you guys about. For every $25 you donate, you're going to be entered into a draw. We're going to be giving these away probably mostly on game day as we go along, maybe some afterwards. But you could win in your own hands an Xbox Elite Series 2 controller provided by the Mitch Power 1116. Very nice, very sweet. This is a core. This is a Series 2 core Elite controller. It feels very good to play, and you should go ahead and do that. Now, Fulya, we got a limited edition PlayStation Anniversary DualSense. You got the physical there in your hands. Look at that son of a gun. Look at that.
I do. I bought this when this thing came out, and everybody had to pre-order it, and allocation was exhausted so quickly that they're doing another run. But
that's crazy.
I've had this for a little while, and it's been sitting on my shelf behind me this whole time. So it's just been there as decoration. So I thought someone else will probably appreciate this a lot more than I, and probably might end up using it. So I thought it'd be something really cool to give away for Extra Life.
Very generous. So donate $25, get you one entry, and for every $25 get you more entries. We also have a lovely handmade Carpool Gaming 2025 commemorative plaque made with love by the Green Jeans. Thank you, Green Jeans, for that. You can win the Locklith Squishmallow Essentials prize pack, which is exactly what it sounds like, a whole bunch of Squishmallows supplied by the Locklith. Ryan Turford is supplying a Xenoblade Chronicles 3 special edition. It looks absolutely enormous and gorgeous. As well as some Nintendo Switch online codes. You can win a Carpool Gaming Extra Life merch prize pack with the designs by the Fee, a sticker, a t-shirt, and a mug. That's all you need for happiness right there. It'll cure us all, this prize pack. We're going to be giving away just a metric ton of Idea at Xbox indie games, so stay tuned for that. More prizes still to confirm and to come, so guys, please. extra-life.org/participant/carpoolgaming. The links are in the show notes. Click and donate. We're going live for game day November 8th for 24 hours, maybe more. But stay tuned for that. I think that is the end of our housekeeping. Goodbye, housekeeping lady.
Housekeeping.
Leave! All right. With all that out of the way, that's my best Mitch. I feel like it's a decent Mitch impression.
That was really good.
Now I'll start barking or something like that to get the whole Mitch experience, all the dogs barking in the background. All right. Fee, I'm sure you played some games. I'm sure I played some games. But to be honest with you, we're here to turn things over to Fulya. You have been playing Keeper. You've been keeping it from me. I don't know what you think about this game. Reviews are out here. Tell us, the Double Fine game, tell us all about the Keeper experience.
All right. Well, first off, I just want to say a big thank you and huge shout out to Xbox for giving the code and for allowing me to do this review. And Carpool Gaming, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to do this. This is my first time doing a review, by the way.
Oh, well, welcome. Very cool.
Yes. On a more of an official kind of capacity. So that's why I have here, I got my notes.
We got notes.
Ready to go.
Hell yeah.
In my PlayStation notebook.
Oh, damn.
Yep.
Wait a second.
Yeah, exactly. So Keeper. So I started it and finished it this week. I literally went through it this week. You can actually play through it in probably about less than 8 hours, maybe about 6-ish hours. It probably took me about 8 to 10 hours only because there were some things that I sort of happened to come across. Now, warning for those of you who are photosensitive to flashing lights and all that sort of stuff, they have a warning at the start with that as well. But also, there is an arachnophobia warning, but that does not mean they have spiders in the game. They just have creatures that have multiple legs in the game, which is why they have this warning. So I just wanted to point that out. If you are arachnophobic, you might find some of the creatures in this game a little creepy. Now, this is a very fantasy-based world. Beautiful visual artwork. The art style is absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of giving me very sort of stop-motion vibes from when I played through it, and it was really cool. There is an overarching story to this. No dialogue, by the way. but it's very well told. And I enjoyed playing this game. I had good fun. There were points in the game that had me feel feels. There were some emotional points. But essentially, you are a lighthouse that gains some legs and you go off exploring this world. It's like this world is getting... So the light uses its power to extinguish like darkness or some form of corruption. You have a little bird buddy that comes along with you because he gets lost from his little flock because he got chased down by some evil creatures. And it sort of starts off with you coming to life essentially and trying to get out of your spot. If you're watching the VOD, by the way, if you're watching the stream, I have given Sean some footage here for you all to have a look at. This is the first like 30-ish minutes that I recorded of the game. And it starts off really weird because it's telling you to move. So you have to use your left stick to sort of wiggle your way out. So you're leaning back and sort of side to side to sort of break off from your base so that you can then end up growing legs and stuff. And it's a bit tough because it doesn't tell you how much to lean. So you just have to just do it. So it took me maybe a minute or so to realize, okay, I really need to, let me see how far it goes. I'll lean one way and then it kind of goes into a cut, moves around, and then you have to lean another way to then get to the next part of it to then keep going. And then, so once you wiggle out, you will then magically gain some legs. And Sean, you're on mute.
Carry on. It doesn't matter.
There's I think the main sort of big positives I got out of this was essentially like the art style. It's very vibrant in its colors. And I really loved just the look of this game. It looked really cool. It's very colorful. The music as well is really nice. So the soundtrack, it's very soothing. It's very sort of chill vibes kind of a background music, which kind of surprised me a little bit. But then there are points later down in the game where it does get a little darker in terms of its music, and it sort of amps up the music a little as well. Oh, and by the way, when you do start off the game, you're essentially like a baby giraffe that just got born trying to figure out how to walk. So that's what this lighthouse is trying to do, that's why it's like leaning all over the place. So it was a little weird trying to maneuver this lighthouse for the first time. But then eventually you get used to the walking, and then it just keeps going with no issues. So that's a really cool little feature that they added in, the fact that this lighthouse is learning how to walk on legs. So there's that. Soundtrack's really nice. There are some light puzzle elements to this game. So it's not heavy on the puzzles, but they're just, a few bits and pieces here and there that you have to figure out as you go along and traverse the world. There were some puzzles where there's a bit of time shifting happening, which was really interesting. So a bit of time traveling. So there'll be like puzzles where you time travel. You have to go to the past to then venture through areas and then bring it back to the present. And then there'll be points where you have to time travel to the future and then bring it back again. So it's only in this one specific place. It's kind of maybe just before the halfway point of the game. And that's just part of this one little area, the time traveling thing, because you're just helping out this little, I think it's like a little town or a village or something. And so, there's that kind of thing. There's so much that's going on in this world, but essentially you are on an adventure. You're on a journey with your bird buddy, and the bird's name is Twig, which is really cute. And then Twig also is on a bit of a journey to find his flock. So, or her flock, I don't know. So yeah, it's really interesting. It's really lovely. And yeah, it's just a lot of exploring, essentially, just exploring this world in terms of just the way it looks and all that sort of stuff. So I'm really enjoying it.
Fulya, you said that there's no like voice acting. Is there dialogue? Like, is there written dialogue? Like, one of the
Nope.
things that it's fascinating to me, because one of the things that the studio Double Fine is really like known for is the writing. Usually a lot of wit, a lot of clever writing, or even tackling really tough subjects. Like Psychonauts is a really good one, and tackling a lot of mental health and conditions and things like that. Are there themes that like were popping out from your experience with Keeper? Like, what are they trying to tell us? I imagine there's something that Double Fine is trying to come across with this.
So there's no dialogue. There's no text dialogue. The only text that pops up is like the gameplay mechanics, like controls and stuff.
Yeah.
How to. That's about it. I'm not sure that I got what the theme was specifically, but I imagine that it has something to do with, just...
And maybe there's nothing.
Not, actually. Yeah, maybe there is nothing, and I just didn't, it could be nothing, but...
So you're just you're a lighthouse with a friend traversing a desolate landscape kind of thing.
Yeah, just go on your own journey. Essentially, I think that's what the messaging might be. Is just that you're on your own journey. Don't go. Yeah, just do whatever you feel is right. Essentially.
Yeah. So you're seeing like your gameplay here, and there's like there's something. It's almost like Gears of War-esque, like the krill that travel around. Like, is this a constant thing? Are you fighting these things off with your light? Or are you running away from it? Like, is this an adversary that you're facing?
So yeah, you use your light, and your light you do a high beam with the light as well, like a burst of light, to then to essentially like fade away these like dark creatures. I'm not quite sure what they are, but it's essentially some form of darkness, and you use that light to fade away that darkness. Essentially, I think that's what it is. But your main controls is you're moving forward and backward, so you're moving, but you're also, your light is your power source, and you use your light a lot to not only to hit away those darkness creatures, but also to reveal things in the world as well. And to burst bubbles or anything like that. So your light is very important. That's the main. I think that's the main kind of thing that's going on here.
Yeah, I was just.
Go ahead.
What were you going to say, Sean?
Well, I was going to say, like, I wanted to bring you in on this because being where you are in the world, lighthouses are very important for you. So I'm sure there's something that pops up for you.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, my province alone, I think we have like 116 to 60 like lighthouses alone. I remember it's a very high number. They even recorded, the movie The Lighthouse, they actually filmed it in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia, which is about 2.5 hours away from me. Funny enough, they, if you want a little bit of a lore background on that one, they actually had to build an entirely different lighthouse just down the road from a lighthouse that they mirrored and based the actual movie Lighthouse off of. It was a whole thing. It's a wild time here. But yeah, I was going to say, lighthouses alone, like, that was the first thing that I know that kind of stood out to me when I first heard about this game. Because I'm like, oh, a haunted lighthouse. That seems on brand here. Actually, I do live in a lighthouse, too. Yeah, one of my favorite places to get fish and chips has a lighthouse, and they're not even near water. Why? I have no sweet clue. It's just there. It's a huge lighthouse.
They had an extra one.
They give them out. Why not? Buy one, get a lighthouse situation. No, I was also very curious because you mentioned the fact that the lighthouse is trying to protect the town, but we actually watched your the lighthouse character walk through these buildings of the town and kind of like cause of destruction, which seems like kind of counterintuitive. I was just curious, like, do we know, like, do we find out in the game without any spoilers? Do we find out why it becomes a anthropomorphic kind of like a spider lighthouse at all? Like, how did we find out that the bird's name is Twig? I was just curious, like, what kind of lore we get information-wise.
The only reason why we know the name is Twig is because you can press buttons to make him work, and so the instruction says, press this button to let Twig do this. Essentially, is what it is.
I see. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's how I knew his name is Twig. Otherwise, there's no like dialogue or anything that says that the name's Twig or anything like that. So that's what that is. And the whole like in the gameplay footage, obviously you see the lighthouse walking through. These are like abandoned kind of houses and buildings that it's walking through. But the one that I was mentioning is actually an area that you visit. And it's quite built up to the sense that it's almost the same size as the lighthouse kind of a situation. So that's where you'll discover that you have to help out this particular town. But you are essentially just walking through and just causing destruction because you can't stop. You can't help that. You're a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daryl in the chat had shared, and actually Seth as well, had shared a wonderful statement from the game's creator. And I can read just a little bit and you can build off of that, Fulya, based on your experience, maybe. So it's, and I'm going to skim through this. I'm not going to read the whole thing. People should go to news.xbox.com to go check that out. And it's from Lee Petty, the creative lead at Double Fine. And it says, my new gamekeeper was inspired by the events of the last few years. Like most, I thought a lot about isolation and connection with others. I've always been into hiking, backpacking, and spending time outdoors with my family. During the pandemic, it became more important to me. I wondered if the wildlife around me would be all that is left in the future. Would it continue to develop, to evolve? I thought in my mycelium, come on, Lee, I can't read that kind of word. The vast underground networks that connect fungi and how they are also used by trees to share nutrients and communicate with each other. I imagine an isolated island in a far-flung future without humans. What sort of life would evolve there? Would this life still be possessed with a need to connect with others and to have purpose? I mean, that's kind of what I'm seeing in the gameplay so far. It actually oddly connects to, I was talking about Death Stranding 2 last week, and similar kind of themes there as well. I don't know if that like comes across in the gameplay to Fulya. Does Lee accomplish this in the world and the game?
Look, honestly, I'm the type of person that unless you're telling me exactly what it is, I probably won't notice.
Fair.
So it is a bit unfortunate on my part, but look, when the way that he mentioned that, it does make sense now. Just in terms of the way that the lighthouse is its own thing and it's by itself and it's connected with this bird, and like this whole world relies on a light source to grow, and so that's what your lamp is used to. It uses it to like as you go along, you don't even have to do the whole high beam thing, like the focus beam. You just move your lamp around on the ground, around the trees and stuff, and things just grow. So
okay,
it's and it's really pretty, and it's just for decoration, but like it's really nice to see things happen when your light interacts with the environment. So I really like that sort of feature, and there are also points where you kind of get to a certain point, and we did see this earlier on. They're like lookout points, which is where a lighthouse would generally be, which was really a nice touch, that you can just stand there and just look out into the distance and just enjoy the view, essentially. I really like that about this game as well, that it has that. You do also go into underground kind of like caves, and there's a lot that happens in these caves as well. So that's been really cool. Now, apart from all of those positives, I do have a few negatives about this game that I want to touch on. There are no hint systems in this game. Like, if you get stuck, you're stuck until you figure it out. And it doesn't tell you where you need to go, or it doesn't like give you a clue of, okay, this is where you need to head essentially, or you need to do this. You have to just figure it out for yourself. So my gameplay hours doesn't reflect the actual number of hours this game actually goes for, because I had to restart a couple of chapters because I was stuck. And I had no idea what I was doing or where I was going.
And no walkthroughs pre-release. That's one of the trickiest parts about this. Yeah.
It was so hard to do this all on my own and not figure it all out for myself. But I did realize that when I was playing them after work, so I was very tired and my brain didn't understand what was happening. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to leave it. I'm going to come back to this next time. And then I just restarted the chapter and then I figured it out. And I'm like, you really need to explore the area. There are so many nooks and crannies in this game that you really need to check them out. That is one thing I will mention here as a bit of a tip. Look everywhere. There is going to be some little crevice that you've probably missed, that will probably have the one mechanism to get you to continue on with the story. So, like that was the one thing that I struggled with. Like, I don't need something to spoon feed me to be like, you need to do this now, or you need to do that now. All I want, like, if I'm stuck and it's after a certain amount of time that I'm stuck, give me a hint. Like, just something. Just something,
Fair.
So yeah, that's one thing that I was, that I had trouble with. Another thing that I will mention, that there are certain parts of the story itself I'm going to say towards the end, I'm not going to spoil it, but to me, it didn't make sense. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It got pretty psychedelic towards the end in terms of like all these flashing lights and stuff, but I wasn't really understanding what was happening in that particular moment. But I just thought, you know what, let's just go with it anyway.
Well, you're coming at it from a really interesting perspective, Fulya. Like, for someone, it sounds like you're here for gameplay, maybe music, the puzzles, like. And so for some people, they might be looking for like that underlying theme or the overarching themes. And so for that to not really resonate, you still seem fairly positive, like from a gameplay or art style, like you have an appreciation for this game, it seems. Yes,
I absolutely do. Like, I am the type of person who it doesn't need the story doesn't need to hit me in the face about what it's in terms of what it's trying to tell me. However, I do like a little bit of like explanation, just so that I can understand what's happening. So yeah, this particular game, it's for me, it's mostly positive. I'm very happy with the fact that this is just an exploration game with a few light puzzles, and I really enjoyed that. And it was just a new experience for me because it's not something I usually go out of my way to play a lot of the times.
It's exactly what it looks like. I think that's why it's been on people's radar. It stood out at the showcase. I want to bring in Kevin Ainsworth in the carpool here with a quick question. Said, question about Keeper. You've addressed this, but how long did it take you to roll credits? Did you feel like it overstayed its welcome, or were you engaged the entire time?
Okay, so yeah, like I said, I honestly, because I wanted to see my actual hours through true achievements, but because the game hadn't released yet, it didn't pop up in my list. So I don't know the exact hours, but I'm going to say it did take me less than 10. I'd probably say closer to 8.
Yeah.
But only because I was stuck a couple of times. So that's the duration for me. What was the second part of the question?
Did it overstay its welcome? Like, was that the right amount? Was that the right length?
I think that was the right length. I think maybe the bits toward like the scenes towards the end where I felt like I wasn't sure what was going on.
It's taking a turn.
Probably
taking a turn for the weird.
Yeah, it really did.
I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah, and that probably was the part where it felt like it took forever. and maybe that section was maybe a little bit too long. But other than that, like, I think this is a good length. Like, it sort of reminded me of South by Midnight in its South of Midnight. Is it South by Midnight? I can't remember the name. I always
South
get
of Midnight,
that name
yeah.
confused. South of Midnight.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is
In
giving
terms
me
of,
South
like,
of
the
Midnight
art style,
vibes.
yeah.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
more like, I guess, stop motion. This is damn near like it. Yeah, you're
Almost.
it looks handcrafted.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really love it. It looks really pretty. There were some gameplay issues in terms of its graphics. It did lag a bit. I played on my Series S, and so the graphics did lag a little bit here and there, but nothing game breaking. So that's at least a positive for that. And the camera. Okay, so the camera in this is fixed. You don't have control of the camera. You only have control of your lighthouse and the lamp on the lighthouse, essentially.
Right. So you're moving independently. Like, you move the lighthouse and you aim directionally with the lighthouse with the light.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And sometimes, depending on where you move, that's where the camera goes. Now, there are some points in the game where the perspective changes, but you continue to go through it. Like, it'll go from being third person to being so far away, and you're kind of sort of like top down, almost as if it was a map, like a 3D map. There'll be points where it'll be in a distance and you're walking across the screen. So that was also one thing that, like, I suppose that's it's the way that they've decided to go with in terms of its design. But I like being in control of my camera. I like seeing where I'm going. A lot of the times you're walking forward instead of towards the camera. There are times where you are walking towards the camera, and that does feel a bit disorientating for me, because then I don't know what I'm going to expect to pop out in front of me.
Yeah, well, especially because you said one of your tips was to look everywhere, and if part of looking everywhere is challenging, then yeah, I could see where that'd be I'd be frustrated with that, honestly. But again, what do you're out of control. So you got to move in one way, you got to aim your light in another. I mean, there's ways to do it. I guess they could have, hold down like a left trigger to aim your light beam or something like that. So it is interesting that it's more of like a guided perspective from the camera. But yeah, that's something I'd probably want to get my hands on. This is on Game Pass as well, launching day and date into Game Pass. I don't remember if this was coming to other platforms right now, but I've downloaded it on PC. Yeah, I don't know if it was coming to PlayStation or not. We can double check for that.
So.
But yeah, certainly on PC, I've downloaded it through Game Pass right now. So the length that you talk about is definitely something I'm like, I could give this at least a couple hours to kind of check out. Yeah. It looks really interesting. We're watching. I haven't been listening, so I'm very curious on like the soundscape here, like the art style, the art direction was instantly captivating from the trailer. I would say from what I can see here, it sort of like matches what I expected. What I'm really interested is, what does this game sound like? Actually, I don't know if you have any commentary on that, but like I'm fascinated by this world that they've crafted.
Yeah, no, it's really nice. I feel like this is the gameplay in terms of its duration. I think it's a good amount of time. It doesn't go too long, and if you find everything you need to find, then you'll definitely get this done in less than 8 hours. So it's a good short game.
We'll speed run it.
Yeah,
speed run keeper.
Yeah, I was gonna say there is a dash mechanic, but even the dash isn't that fast because you're this giant, heavy lighthouse. So you can only go so fast with the dash. So
very cool.
Yeah, it's just really nice. The environment's really fascinating. I was trying to shine my light wherever I could just to see if anything would like grow or appear, and just so that I could get a better look, especially in like the dark areas, like in the caves and stuff. It's really nice. It's a really nice game, and I'm so glad that I had the opportunity to experience this game. Absolutely. Yeah. I loved it.
Nice. Very cool. Any other questions from you, Fee?
Oh man, I don't know if it's so much questions, but like the more I've been watching this, I don't know if either of you watched the movie James and the Giant Peach when you were
Yes.
younger. It is very okay. So it is a kind of a creepy children's
Yeah.
movie, Sean. But it has that kind of like claymation. It's overly colorful. I think it was it Tim Burton who made it? I apologize.
Yes, I think
Okay,
it was.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a very like it's very weird in a sense for Tim Burton because it was very colorful.
Right.
Of course. So it definitely has that vibe. It almost seems like it's from like the same world in a way. I think more in the lines of something that obviously is missing in this game is a UI. There's no like obviously you mentioned the fact that there's no like telling you where to go. There's no like kind
There's
of
no
like
map.
there's no Sean's worst nightmare. There's no map in this game. But at the same time, I feel like this is a perfect game for Sean and I because we don't like instructions.
That's
So
right. Don't tell me
I
what
was
to
going to
do.
say, Seth is right. It's actually Henry Selick, not Tim Burton.
Oh,
I did
my
IMDb it
apologies.
just now. Yeah.
yeah, thank you so much, Seth. Yes. Oh, I do not like the tryptophobia problem. They have an arachnophobia issue. Like, warning, but nothing about multiple different small holes for context. But yeah, no, I was just curious if there's been any other like for people who have no real like understanding or experience with this particular game. Do you have any recommendations of other games that might be similar or ones that you maybe recommend in this particular type of genre?
So my brain, for whatever reason, goes towards like it kind of gave me the same vibes as Jusant. Now it's not like Jusant's more about climbing, but it's got the same sort of vibe in the sense that it's light puzzles, but you're exploring the world. So this is kind of similar in that respect that you're exploring the world with some light puzzles, and you have Twig who's helping you out with certain things, as you can see on the screen at the moment. And that's where my sort of head went when I was playing the game. I thought this is kind of giving me the same vibes as Jusant. But they're both different, completely different stories, but that's essentially what I was feeling. Yeah. But
Man, you
other
love
than
that game.
I absolutely love that game. Like it's still in my top 3 for this year. So
I love it.
Awesome.
Yarden
Yeah.
jumps in the chat with a question. Is this Fulya's first Double Fine game?
I believe it is. I'm pretty
No
sure it is.
Psychonauts, no Grim
So,
Fandango,
I
Costume
do,
Quest.
I do own Psychonauts, but I haven't played it. I have not played any of the other games though, so this is definitely my first Double Fine game.
I highly recommend Psychonauts 2 to anybody, but like just watching this, it seems like it's a great warm-up actually to Psychonauts. And not that Psychonauts really needs all that much like pre-game stretching or anything like that, but Double Fine is such an interesting studio. It's a great one in Xbox's catalog. It's they're just always going to be interesting, and you're so into the indie scene. They've been indie like this whole time, and now Double Fine being purchased by Xbox and by Microsoft, it's sort of like that indie spirit, but with like the backing of a $1 trillion company, you know?
Yeah.
And so I love that they're still doing this. Like this very much, just watching the gameplay and hearing you talk about it, like it screams indie to me, but made by a studio that wasn't afraid that their like roof was going to collapse or any of those other worries that a lot of indie studios kind of go through. So highly recommend you kind of jump back into the catalog from Double Fine, because I think Psychonauts 2 was their first game that they released after being purchased. It's pretty recent that they're technically not an indie studio. But Tim Schafer and that crew, they had something else. Fee, do you remember this? It was kind of like Kickstarter, and I'm struggling to remember what the heck it was called, but it was kind of like Kickstarter, but I feel like if you funded games, like you became almost like part owner or something. Like they're very entrepreneurial, the people behind the studio. Do you remember what that was called?
No.
It was Kickstarter I can Google it, but I just think Fulya, and for anybody else out there who may be looking at Double Fine for the first time because it's a Game Pass game, because it's Xbox, like it's getting a little bit more spotlight than they might have been used to before. Go Indiegogo. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, thank you, Seth. Yeah, very interesting. And you know, whether people like that platform or not, I just mostly bring it up because of the spirit of the people behind this studio do something like that as well, which is interesting. Sam says, did you watch the Double Fine documentary about making Psychonauts 2? I've not, and I didn't even know that was a thing. So thank you for bringing it up. That sounds very cool.
Yeah.
Love that game. Yeah. Anything else you want to mention, Fulya, on Keeper?
No, that's pretty much it. I've pretty much explained everything I could for whatever my brain could come up with.
It's pretty cool. No, like I said, I've got it downloaded on my PC. I can't wait to check it out. We're in like Gamageddon though, you guys. Like we're in it. I don't know if you guys are all feeling that out there, but it probably feels good to get this one in and out there for you.
Yeah.
You got to play, you got to complete it.
I'm so glad because last weekend I had PAX and I was there the whole weekend and there was so much to do and see. So this wasn't. I'm so glad that this game was short. I thought this was going to take me forever, and I'm so glad that it was short.
Yes, Yarden asked a good question. Is Keeper a keeper?
I would definitely recommend checking it out. Yes.
Nice little Game Pass get here. We got a couple.
Yeah.
I mean, Game Pass. We've been talking a lot about Game Pass. Bowser and I had a very level, I think, conversation about Game Pass and the increased prices and all this thing. I feel like Xbox kind of missed the mark here to go, by the way, in the next coming weeks, it's Keeper, Ninja Gaiden 4, and The Outer Worlds 2, plus all these other different things. Like, where is this? Where is the noise? I do think that Game Pass is actually kind of like rocking right now. We got Call of Duty coming out right down the line here. It's a lot. So not that I'm saying that I really love the new price point. I feel like I always have to say that. But like if you're gonna raise the prices, like remind us of the stuff that's coming. This is a great way to kick off sort of like Game Pass push fall 2025. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Nice. Very cool.
Yeah.
You playing anything else?
Oh, jeez. Considering I did mention PAX, I did play some demos at PAX.
Oh, I was joking. Bring it on. I love it.
So I played a little game at PAX by the name of Pinball Hero. Now, Pinball Hero is a roguelite pinball game, and and it's also an kind of RPG elements in this pinball game. It's really cool. The way they had it set up at PAX is they had their monitor vertical, so that you get like a proper vertical pinball experience, like a pinball table. And it was actually quite fun. You go through certain tables and you're trying to kill all the like the enemies with your bumpers and all that sort of stuff. And your ball is your hero. It's not a ball. It's a hero.
I get it.
And it's actually quite fun. And you can still choose between different class heroes. You can be a warrior, you can be a mage, you can be a ranger, or a rogue or something like that. So there's the RPG element to that. And then, you're just going around. You need to like collect, I think it's like collecting souls or something like that. You're collecting souls. And you have to hit a certain number of souls to then continue on. It's actually pretty fun. Nice. I really enjoyed that one.
What was it called again?
It's called Pinball Hero.
It's
coming to Steam.
Nice. Okay.
It's being developed and published by Lazy Bones, and they're a Kiwi developer. So they were really, really awesome to have a chat with. I've also checked out a game called How Was Your Day? Another Kiwi developer here,
So nice.
Mad Carnival. How Is Your Day is actually a point-and-click sort of mystery supernatural game. Sorry, heavy on the narratives here.
Sounds like Fee. Sounds like a Fee game.
I think it might be. So you might enjoy this one, Fee. It's essentially the protagonist that you play as is a teenage girl who ends up, unfortunately, one day she wakes up and her dog Beans is missing. And so the mystery is you have to find what happened to Beans. And you sort of go on this little journey because, she's this young girl who's recently moved to New Zealand from Fiji with her family. And then you've got this whole like family sort of mechanic of having a chat and all that sort of stuff. And you're being a teenager essentially. And there's a little bit of like time travel-y kind of Groundhog Day vibes happening here. So you're playing through the same day over and over again, which is the weird sort of mystery part of it. It's very spoopy natural in that sense. But that one is actually really cool. So go check out How Was Your Day? And there is one game that I didn't get a chance to play, but I thought looked really, really awesome and cool. And it's called Enfant. It's being developed and published by Zebra. And they're a team from Sydney, Australia. And you're an elephant. And it's a Metroidvania. It is a action-adventure 3D Metroidvania, and your protagonist is an elephant.
God bless
And
him.
it's
We
so
needed the
cool.
game. We needed that game. I was like, where's my elephant Metroidvania game? Thank God. There it is. I've been waiting for it.
It looks so cool. Like, you're just...
What?
I don't know what it is about this, your elephant that's anthropomorphic.
Can it crawl?
It's walking on its back.
Wait, it's anthropomorphic elephant?
Yes.
Like it's upright? Wait a second.
upright. Yeah, please bring up the trailer.
Okay, how do you spell it? Enfant?
ENFANT.
Okay, game. Let me see here. Let's see if we can find this. Enfant on Steam, a 3D action. Let's pull up the trailer here and watch together. What in the world, Fee?
This game was getting a lot of people around it. Like, I could not get a chance to go in there and play it and try it for myself. But it's there.
Seth in the chat cracks me up. He says, another elephant at Metroidvania. That is crazy.
Yeah. It looks gorgeous.
It's Babar. It's Babar the game. This is Babar's adventure. This is what I've always. Wait, he has normal hands. He has human hands. This elephant.
I suppose so.
Not like. That is unsettling. See, like the feet are like normal, like elephant feet. The hands have fingers and I don't know about this. This is crazy to me.
Yep.
What are you doing?
There's
to
a
the
frog involved. I don't know.
Why is he
you're exploring this world, and it just I don't know.
Wow.
I was so fascinated by the fact that it was an elephant.
It's gorgeous, actually. It actually,
Yeah.
the color, it actually kind of looks like a little bit like Keeper, to be honest with you. I was not expecting, 3D Metroidvania. That's a weird thing to like. I don't know that we're really. Like, we don't really get that a lot. We certainly don't get the elephant Metroidvanias, but, like, 3D Metroidvania is not a genre I really hear about all that much. So, like, you're getting abilities and kind of backtracking and kind of wandering through them. Yeah, interesting.
But, yeah, by the looks of that. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly what that is. Now, one that I did try as well, and I also had a chat with the developers, is a game called Braveheart. And this is a cute little top-down puzzle game where you're essentially a trolley or shopping cart, as you guys call it, and you're playing the role of the shopping cart, and you're saving these abandoned shopping carts
Who would do that?
That are just left out in the streets and everything. It's a satire in terms of its story, and it's turn-based. It's really cool. It's funny. They had about 22 levels that you could play at PAX. I got through about 20 of them, and then I stopped. Another one of these? Yes, Seth, another one.
Where did we see this before? Was this on like the Wholesome Direct or something?
I think it was on a showcase, yes.
Yeah, because it's the duopoly of the two shopping centers.
So the two supermarkets that are in this game, they're based off of two Australian big supermarkets that are here in Australia.
Okay.
Kind of, which is what they wanted to go with. And these are, so the Hojo Studio is a Queensland development team, and it's a whole family affair, which is really cool. They're, so husband and wife making this game, and their kids are helping with the level design, which is so cool.
What a dorky family over there. That's awesome. I love it.
Cute.
That is great.
I love it.
Tell me about the supermarkets. We got Alpha Barn and Omega Mart. Is this
Okay,
like pretty close?
So, no. So they've changed the names.
Yeah.
In the game itself, they've made
Alpha
them
and
up.
Omega. Yeah.
But it's actually Coles and Woolworths.
Okay.
So Coles being Alpha Barn, Woolworths being Omega Mart.
What makes them? How do you know that? How is that so identifiable?
The coloring.
Like colors.
The coloring.
Yeah. Okay.
So Coles is red, Woolworths is green.
Hilarious. I love it so much. Oh, so cool.
Yep. And it's a big thing here in Australia. I don't know, it's probably big everywhere, but here in Australia, like you'll go anywhere and there'll be like abandoned trolleys just here and there. There'll be a trolley in like a creek. There'll be a trolley just, growing grass, and it's
Growing grass. Fulya, I'm curious here, at least in my part of Canada, I think it's the same with you, Fee. Like, this is a sign of one's humanity. Like, are you a good person or not? Do you bring the trolley or the shopping cart back to the receptacle, the area? Like, do you just leave it?
The trolley
like
bay?
a heathen. Yes, this is a test, and so it sounds like
I personally, once I'm done with my trolley, I will put it in the trolley bay.
Yeah, you're a good person.
Yes.
Of course.
I will put it back where a lot of people will just leave it in the car park. Leave it on a pathway. I'm like, it's not that. It's literally like 10 steps. Just go over there and put it away. Not to mention the fact that these trolleys have little coin captures where you have to unlock a trolley to use it. So a lot of the times people get lazy if they don't find the right trolley to get their money back to when they're returning it. They'll just find one that's just lying around and put it there. And I'm like, it's not that
I mean,
hard.
somebody
Just
could make a
go.
lot of money taking all those trolleys back and get the money out of them.
No, that's the thing. Like, so I don't use coins. I have like a little trolley key so that you insert it, you unlock the trolley, and then you just take it out, and then off you go.
You got to always put it back, regardless.
Aldi has these coins, like tokens, that you can use that are the same size as the coins that we have here to put into them to unlock your trolley. But yeah, like a lot of people will return their trolley anywhere as long as they can get their money back.
Yep.
It's just so annoying.
Crazy. Brave Cart is what this game is called. Now, do we have a release date for this one? When is this one coming out? To be announced,
no release date yet. They said they're looking at releasing potentially next year. But they're still in the works with it.
Somebody tell those kids to hurry up with their level design. Come on, what are they waiting for?
They said there's going to be over 100 levels, which is insane.
I mean, that's just their parents setting them up for just a whole bunch of work. 50 would have been fine, surely.
They're going way
They could have
beyond
done
that.
another DLC pack or something. What are these poor kids? These poor Australian elementary school kids. They just
I reckon they're having fun
They should
with
be
it.
What?
I reckon they're having fun with it.
Oh, they should be in school. They should be learning. I'm just kidding. Kidding. It sounds like a good time. That's fun.
Yeah, no. Yeah, they're the ones that I just wanted to highlight here today. I played a few other ones too, but I would be here forever.
Well, I'm glad you got to go to PAX. Are you going to be discussing more on the mini indie van coming up soon?
I don't know, maybe.
Absolutely not. It was an Xbox Live exclusive. There you go.
There you go.
Or on your channel anywhere?
I'll definitely be doing it on mine. So if you look for the Many Thoughts I Have podcast, I'll definitely be doing an episode just about PAX.
That makes sense.
So, yeah.
What a great name for a podcast, by the way. I love it.
Thank you.
Love it.
All right, Fee, your turn. What you playing these days? Lady?
Okay, Sean. You know what? Since we have Fulya on the show, I'm strictly for this week going to just be focusing on the indie games that I played this week. Starting off, Sean and Fulya, I played a game, and it's called Crash Out Crew. Now, it's the demo. It's made by Aggro Crab, the same people who made Peak, and I have thoughts on this game. For context, you are in a cart And you get to decorate your cart. Really cutesy, very demure. It looks like they're actually, it is a forklift, actually. It is a forklift, in fact. And it's kind of going with the Supermart theme. So you go in, you have to like get boxes, and you have to work as a team. Of course, the name kind of gives it away. Crash Out. So good. So you have to like collect you have to collect 3 kiwis, 2 cherries, and a blueberry. But each round, like every other round, there's kind of like this is like a negative. So you could be essentially like randomly every so often the lights go out completely, or randomly there's a meteor shower that happens. Who knows what goes on? Now
this little guy looks like he's in a world of hurt.
Awesome.
And then you can like do burnouts. You can drift in it, which is insane. I will say, guys, I played I was playing with my friends Kay and Lucas, and they were just like, we should go save the bees. That's one of the levels. I'm like, oh my god, I love bees. This is gonna be so cute. Guys, I don't think I've ever, and no pun intended, ever crashed out over a game so hard in my life. I was actually yelling at everybody. I was yelling at them. I was yelling at my cat. I was yelling at neighbors. Who knows what was going on? I just blacked out. I just blacked out. This game made me so mad. I was so pissed. I was like, you guys, I'm sick of this nonsense. I don't want to talk to either one of you ever again. I hate this. Oh gosh. Okay. For context, the bee level, you have pots of honey and you have boxes of bees. What could go wrong, you may ask? If you drop a box of bees, the bees come out and then they attack the honey. Doesn't matter where it is. It could be on the conveyor belt. It could be what you're holding. It could be an entire stack. So maybe you took the time and effort to stack 4 pots of honey. You bring it over. You're like, oh gosh, guys, I got all the honey on the conveyor belts. All we need is 1 box of bees. And that one person knocks over that box of bees. And then the bees just take out all the things of honey. So then you have to pick up the things of honey. You're spinning around in circles like a crazy person. It's absolutely... I was so mad by the end because I was just like, okay, guys, I have calmly put this on the conveyor belt. And then all of a sudden you just see someone like collide with everything that you've built. And then a swarm of bees comes out and it's just absolute chaos. And I'm just like, I'm sick of this nonsense. I can't handle it anymore. I had a little bit of a crash out. Who knows what happened in between.
Awesome.
It was actually a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever been so frustrated ever playing a video game because it was relentless
vibes.
Oh, 100%. It is beyond overcooked.
It looks like it.
It was a lot of fun. I will say I was a little bit of an instigator at the beginning. I was doing burnouts. I was just like, because for context, Sean, if you hit a wall too often or if you run into too many things, you actually crash out and you lose control of your character for a good solid 5 seconds. So you just start speeding around doing nonsense and you could be the person knocking out everything. So yeah, I will say, I think my last straw was I finally got everything organized. The bees were going insane. It was just crazy chaos. And then all of a sudden, I was trying to push the button because I was getting yelled at to push the button. And then someone drove up behind me. And then we pressed the button as everything broke. And so the game was like, you didn't actually fulfill the order correctly. And I'm just like, the obscenities that were coming out of my mouth.
Oh, God. You turned into the East Coaster that you really are.
Oh, it was the East Coaster. Yeah, it definitely comes out when I speak to my sister and apparently when I play this game because it was just pure chaos. Oh, goodness gracious. But yeah, I would highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun. But if you play with me, just be prepared. I'm going to be
Crash Out Crew. Okay. I love it. It is worth mentioning to people as well. Of course, this is the Xbox Drive, which is basically a PC podcast as well. Yeah. It's Steam Next Fest right now.
Yeah,
so
it is.
The demos are out there. They're flowing. At a time of year, I will say this, Steam, unnecessary. There's enough slices. We're drowning over here. We don't need these demos right now. Not that I'm not grateful, but it's like, I mean, it's a lot. It's a little overwhelming. I'm panicked. I mean, I'm fine. Everything's fine.
I have not had a chance to play any Steam Next Fest demos yet.
Saying.
and it's
That's what I'm
already
saying.
the end of the week, and I'm like, no.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fee, you playing anything else there? That sounds like a good time, though.
Yeah, I played a game called Detective Instinct Farewell, My Beloved. Not a short title by any means.
What?
Okay, it is Detective Instinct Farewell, My Beloved by Harmonica LLC. Now, mind you, this is apparently the first game the studio has made, and it is a kind of a game that's like Ace Attorney, guys. We love Ace Attorney here. Oh my gosh, I was sold. This is also a demo that you can currently play. The game comes out November 26th, and I am kind of obsessed with it already. So for context, you start off the game, and in any fashion in these detective kind of narrative games, someone dies. And you see the death, but you don't know who was the murderer. And so you play a character who's instantly, unfortunately, recognized as the murderer by a police officer, because the police officer, like Detective Gumshoe from Ace Attorney, isn't the brightest light bulb. And he just assumes that this man fell out of the fifth floor window, but you're on the first floor. You're 105, but the guy died in 501. And so it's a lot of different characters right out the gate. But I think one of the things that I like, and this is going to be a very minute thing, but as someone who plays these games quite often, it just killed me, was the fact that when you're having a conversation with someone, but you want to start investigating like the area, instead of having kind of like almost like this choppy kind of in between, you can essentially like say like, oh, I want to look in the bushes. And then the person you're talking to is like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm in your way, let me move. And then the character disappears because he recognizes that you're going to go investigate. And then you get to actually go in and look around. I'm like, that's breaking a wall in some capacity. I haven't seen it before. I thought it was really cool. And so, yeah, just randomly, you're a student. I'm assuming Europe for the first time. You're an American. You're there with one of your colleague or like another student and a professor, and things get kind of crazy because later on, apparently, a lot of the gameplay is in a train because you're traveling to another area, and it's so cool. I was just like, I really just want this game out right now because I enjoy these types of games. Mind you, I do have kind of a backlog right now, but I'm like, this is really different. Like, it's really cool. The art style is very like 1980s Japanese anime, and I'm like, this is so cool. I'm so down for this. So I'm very interested to see how the gameplay goes. We already see kind of like some kind of the way that you have to investigate, the way that you question people, and so it was a good introduction to the game, I would say, for the demo.
I love it.
Cool.
Well, the game
Wishlist
comes
it.
out on the 25th November. Is that how I say it, Fulya?
Yes.
25th
26
November?
for me.
26.
26, because you say the day first, and yeah, we do the
Yeah.
month, then day. But, you know, when in Rome or Australia.
We say day, month, year.
We say the month. We say November 25th, 2025. Is that not what you would say?
Well,
Wait a
technically,
second.
the way that we have to put like the actual like formatting in Canada is day, month, year.
No, not
Thank
over
you.
here. No, absolutely
Okay, in
not.
Alberta,
Yeah, we do things a little
Alberta.
differently. We do things a little
Alberta.
differently over here. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
But no,
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, what was the name of that game again?
Detective Instinct, Farewell, My Beloved.
There's a lot of punctuation going on in there. There's colons and commas and whatever else.
Yeah, just missing that M dash, if you will, just to really
Shout out to
title
the M
together.
dash. Yep.
Shout out to the M
All right, you playing anything else for God's sakes?
I did play another game, but I'll wait until next week because that is not a indie, Sean. I did play an MMO. I played a new MMO.
Mo. Yes.
Mo.
Very cool. Well, guys, stay tuned because next week is going to be jam-packed as well because I'm playing Ninja Gaiden 4 and The Outer Worlds thanks to Xbox Canada for that. I can't tell you anything about it. I'm not going to say anything. This is me just saying I have it.
Yeah.
Actually, as far as The Outer Worlds goes, I have installed it. That's as far as I'm at. Now, Ryan Turford, previous co-host of the Xbox Drive, current co-host of the Role-Playing Game Cave, is diving deep into Ninja Gaiden 4 and will be joining us next week, really leading up the coverage there. I will be joining along, I think is the best way to say this. Ryan is a longtime fan of the franchise. I'm representing the newcomers, so you guys can look forward to that. And then some impressions from me on the Outer Worlds for next week as well. I mean, we had Keeper this week. We've got a bunch of stuff coming at you guys next week. But what I can tell you that I've been playing is really all thanks to Yarden. Earlier this week on the Nintendo Drive, Seth Sturgill, the $2 hero, was talking about a game called Yooka-Laylee. Have you guys heard about a Yooka-Laylee? Ukulele even? You remember Ukulele? Yes.
I've never played it, but I do know of it.
Let me draw your attention. This is technically indie as well. Playtonic is a crew that of previous Banjo-Kazooie developers. They've tore off of Rare and they now have Playtonic. And now there's, I guess, 3 games. Yooka-Laylee, which is really just Banjo-Kazooie with different characters. Then Yooka-Laylee and the Impossible Lair, which is one of my all-time favorite games. It's really, really excellent. So that's where I started to fall in love with this series. I really didn't like the first one all that much, although my new term that I've come up with, that might be an expired take. I might need to go back to the original one, because here we are with Yooka-Laylee, which as far as I can understand is kind of the first game, but kind of a remake also. And Seth was talking about it. I'm like, I think you got my attention here. It sounded so good. So we put it out there and said, next person who wants to donate to our Extra Life page for $25, they'll get a code for Xbox, because we were able to get a code from Xbox Canada. Thank you so much. And Yarden donated, and then he gave the code to me. So that's how I have ended up playing this game.
It's not how that works.
It's a journey. Is that all right with you guys? You guys are both confused. Angry,
What?
maybe.
I'm not angry. I'm just, you know what? I love it. We love generosity.
Very sweet. I mean, because we were trying to get me to not redeem the code, and we wanted to raise some money. So we raised some money for the charity, of course, which is very nice. And wouldn't you know, I'm just so pleased that this worked out the way it was. I'm already slammed with way too many games to be playing. But this game is absolutely lovely. It's running great on my Series X, of course. And I gotta be honest with you, I don't really know what precisely I'm supposed to be doing. And that's like the best compliment I can give you. Like, I don't know what my end goal is. I guess we're collecting a bunch of pages to fill up in a book. I think that's maybe as much as I can tell you. What I would like to highlight is the controls feel wonderful. I think the camera is something that is jumping out at me as being very positive, especially having played basically at the exact same time Super Mario Galaxy. And it's one of my number one complaints about that 3D platformer is it kind of, you just like, when you're lucky, you can maybe just shift over the camera, but it's not like that kind of what you're talking about, Fulya, like not full control of the camera. In a 3D platformer, I need it. And you got it in this one, and it's just great. Visually, I think as well is something that's really actually important. I've never really loved like the character design of Yooka-Laylee, like the smooth skin of Yuka, the lizard or gecko or whatever they are, never really like jived with me. And now Yuka has like kind of more a scaly look, like much more detail, which makes it more lovable. It's just you want your sort of mascot 3D collectathon characters to be lovable. Now, Laylee, the bat that jumps on Yuka's back, just the cutest. Holy crap, this furry little purple bat. I absolutely love it. The game has no problem just stealing power-ups that have been in other, basically in Mario games. I was a metal, like kind of like Metal Mario, where you can sink to the bottom of the water, or if something is blowing, you will not be blown if you are a metal Yooka-Laylee. You're going to be steady. And it's just been nice. I'm walking around, I'm collecting stuff, I'm solving puzzles, and it's kind of what I need right now. Like nothing really all that serious, and it's super fun, Fee.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sean. I have a quick question for you. Have you played a Yooka-Laylee game before?
Yooka-Laylee, The Impossible Lair is one of my favorite games ever. I love it. But one of the things that I liked about it most was like it's really like a Donkey Kong Country kind of thing. So very different from the 3D platformer. This one is scratching one of the games that's on my backlog that maybe people will be able to donate to eliminate games from my backlog for Extra Life. We will see. I've been wanting to get to the Spyro Reignited trilogy. And because every time I jump into it just a little bit, I just have a blast. I think that game is gorgeous, and I think the music is wonderful, and it controls great. Like, kind of a same, like, turnaround here. I was never interested in the Spyro games. I wasn't really loving the original Yooka-Laylee, and now here we are with this Yooka-Replay-Lee. I mostly just wanted to yell at you guys about it because people should not sleep on this. I think there's something about the name that's maybe throwing people off. It definitely threw me off because I didn't really know what it was. Like, is this a remaster? Like, is it optional? I think this demands as much attention as, if you guys remember, new Super Lucky's Tale. Super Lucky's Tale was fine, I thought. New Super Lucky's Tale was like, oh snap, like, this is the same, but much better. And it's crazy how that's even possible. So, pretty good.
Nice.
Yard in the chat says, good game, terrible name. There has to be a list of that. Top 5 great games with bad names. I mean, you might have brought up one just a moment ago. The Detective Instinct : farewell, my beloved. Like, that's
so good. I was going to say.
Not okay.
That's such a long name. I need games with short, like, to the point. Like Cabernet, for example, one of my favorite indies.
Yes.
One of my favorite indie games of this year, short but sweet.
Pretty good.
Was 10 out of 10. If it takes, like, if I have to take a breath in the middle of the actual name of a video game, it's too long, everybody.
Yeah, if I have to,
Look, it's the same with anime titles. It's like there's such enormous names.
Yeah, I died and then got, like, brought back as a slime in a dungeon at level 100. Why is it so? Sean, I'm not even joking. That's very close to an actual anime name. You guys need to calm down on the actual length of names. It's wild.
Yooka-Replay-Lee. They really wanted to be cute with it, which I think it was explained to me is sort of similar to Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, that kind of thing. And it's like that. I'm for that, but don't confuse people. Yeah. So I just want to shout it out. Very cool game. Very fun. Just very lighthearted. They did it good. And I was one that was really not interested in this because I really wasn't interested in the first Yooka-Laylee. Impossible Lair, very good. But like the character design, the enemy design especially, really fun. All the moveset is, I want to say, and again, Seth is probably better to speak about this on the Nintendo Drive than I. I think he said that in the first one you are unlocking your moves, and I think that's more of like a Banjo-Kazooie thing, whereas this one, for the most part, you just get the moveset, and I think that's definitely the way to go. You're not playing Mario 64 hoping to maybe one day do the triple jump. It's like one of the first things you want to do when you're running over to the castle. So I think that was a good fix for them. Yes.
Nice. I was very funny this morning. I saw that you were streaming, Sean, and so I hopped over to this channel right here on the Twitch channel. And we were, funny enough, it seemed very like serendipitous with the fact that I was actually in the drive-thru for McDonald's to get a McDonald's coffee while watching the Carpool Gaming live actual Twitch. And then Lucas was like, has Sean ever played Yooka-Laylee before? And I'm just like, yep. And I'm like, wait a second, I don't know. I've never asked. I just assumed. So I'm really happy that I can go back to this podcast on YouTube and then say, guess what? This is the time when I actually ask Sean if he's played this game before, and he's gonna be like, awesome. Thanks for not lying to me.
Like I said, I played it a little, but like I really fell off. I just didn't really. I'm like, look, I'm not a huge Banjo-Kazooie fan, like really at all. But maybe I need to go back. Like I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something.
There you go.
I don't know. My weird take for today before I get like completely taken off of the podcast is I like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Like I like that game. Nobody else. It's like the redheaded stepchild of the mix there. Nobody likes that game. I think it was fun. I think it was cool. I don't know if that's okay to say anymore, but you guys know what I'm saying. You know what I mean.
We do.
Yeah. I think that's it. That's all I still got other things I can't talk about on the go. I'm still, the other thing I can't say is Hollow Knight continues. And I think that's probably, I do want to get a spooky game in here before
I have a question for you guys. I have a question for you guys. Because it is Next Fest right now and we mentioned it, have you guys checked it out at all to see like, or downloaded some? Because
absolutely not.
Okay.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No,
okay.
Too many. But
okay.
Fulya, maybe you have.
Sorry?
Oh my God, what are you doing over there, Fulya?
Got sidetracked.
You missed the
Sorry.
question entirely.
Okay, I asked because it is Next Fest. Have you downloaded any demos that you're going to be trying out this week?
I have put some in my library. I'm hoping tomorrow I might be able to get to it on stream, but I'm not sure how many of them I'll be able to get through. I've only got a small selection, to be honest.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like I've got Tiny Isle, Winterboro, Tiny Bakery. You've mentioned Detective Instinct, so I'm like, I might have to try that as well. And
Detective Instinct is crazy. That's the sad part about the title being so long is you missed the part that it's called Detective Instinct. Don't miss that. That's great. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I've got a handful of Next Fest demos that I might like to play, but we'll see if I actually get around to them.
I mean, look, there's games coming to Steam Next Fest. That's all great, and there's demos and very cool. There's way too much there. Also coming to Game Pass, I forgot to mention this in my rant earlier, and everybody's chatting about it here in the chat live while we record. Ball X Pit.
Yes.
It's on Game Pass, you guys. Go play this game. Yes. It's on Game Pass.
Bye, everybody. I'm not going to lie to you. That was my plan because I was not aware that it was on Game Pass. I was going to straight up buy it because I loved the demo. And now that I know that it's on Game Pass, I don't need to buy it.
It was one that's like, because everybody's really loving this game. Bowza, if Bowza was here, I know Bowza has been playing this game as well, so stay tuned for impressions next week. As I was saying, Ball Pit is on Game Pass. I'm like, that sounds too good to be true. But it's true. It's real. It's on Game Pass. I have it downloaded. I'll figure out some way to play this game as well before I just completely lose my mind. But yes, Ball Pit looks very cool. It was the one game that Devolver highlighted at Summer Game Fest. But man, freaking Ball Pit's on Game Pass. We got Keeper on Game Pass. Apparently, we also have the Grinch Christmas Adventures on Game Pass. I feel like that's maybe a touch early, but there you go.
No.
Very cool. What's this other game? PAX Die? I don't know. We're going to have Bowser run us through the recent Game Pass games when she returns. I think next week. I think Bowser's coming back next week, but maybe not. Yeah. We'll see. We'll find out. Ryan's joining us next week. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on. We gotta figure stuff out.
We love it.
Anything else on Next Fest you guys wanted to talk about before I rudely interrupted with the Ball Pit thing?
No, I was just going to say I've only downloaded one so far, other than the Detective Instinct.
That's crazy. I cannot believe how
Farewell,
much
my
airtime this game has gotten today. That's nuts.
No,
man.
I downloaded a game that's called The Seance of Blake Manor, and it is a supernatural detective mystery game, everybody, because that's not a shock for me. So it does seem like it has multiple different game points. There's sometimes where you're in first person, sometimes you're kind of working in 2D to work on puzzles and stuff like that. It looks really interesting. I kept getting actual notifications about it. They're like, you should check out this game, but have you heard of this game yet? And I'm like, okay, calm down, advertisements. I get the picture. So I downloaded it. So yeah, I was just curious because I know I tend to go through Next Fest, download a bunch, and then I don't get to all of them. And then sometimes the demo just sticks around and I'm like, okay, sweet. And then other ones are just like, you can't actually play this until either Next Fest or the game gets released. And I'm like, okay. So then those usually get deleted. So I was just curious because it was something that came up. So thanks for answering my question, everybody.
I gotta say, demos could get their own damn podcast. The demo podcast.
Oh, Sean, don't even joke. I love demos so much.
I know you do. And you know, I grew up like just loving demos. I would just obsess because you don't have all the money to buy all the games, so you play all the demos. Like they're like a free little chunk. And some demos pretty chunky over there.
Yes.
Yeah. Some demos give you the demo drive. Look at that. Oh, snap, the test drive. Oh, we got some good names workshopping in here.
I'm up
We
for
should not
the
be doing
demo
this
drive.
publicly.
Yes,
the demo drive is a great idea.
Absolutely.
I picture like a monster truck. Like,
I like it.
Demolition Derby kind of roughing it.
Test drive just gives me vibes of like there's a test drive dummy.
Yeah, crash test dummy.
I mean, it would literally be Bobby as a test, like a.
Oh my
test
God,
dummy.
it's brilliant.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well,
there it is.
donate to Extra Life. We'll figure it out, I guess.
Add it to the list.
Oh man,
Add it
that's
to
what
the
I can
list.
work on during Extra Life is just draw Bobby.
Bobby Test Drive Dummies is so good.
Yes.
Our little
I
mascot
can
that
already
everybody can
see
see
it.
on our art. That is wonderful.
Got the markings.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yep.
Fulya, did you have anything else for us today?
No, that's pretty much it.
Fee, did you have anything else for us today?
No, not today. I'm gonna go play some games on Game Pass.
That is all. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening to episode number 407 of the Xbox Drive. We miss Mitch. We miss Bowser. We hope everybody is doing all right over there, resting peacefully. We love you all so much. Before we thank everybody who supports us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming, Fulya, the koala, please tell us where we can find you on the internet, all the things that you're doing, carpool and otherwise. Tell us all the things.
Yes, you can find me over at the Mini Indie Van, and that's all of your podcast service of choice. It's a monthly indie game podcast, so please go check it out. I'll have another one before we go heading over to Extra Life, so I got to get that one going. And then you can find my other podcast that I do, which is the Many Thoughts I Have podcast. You can find that is also a monthly podcast. And then, just everything else, just head on over to foolishfuyu.com and you'll find all the links there.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for your thoughts and commentary and taking on the review for Keeper. Very cool. I think everybody enjoyed your discussion on it today. So thank you for doing that. Very wonderful. Find Fulya in the Discord as well. Fee, tell all the people where they can find you hiding out at the library or whatever the hell you're doing over there.
Exactly. You can join me over on Discord where next weekend we're going to be doing I'm going to be doing both things. I'm literally going to be doing backtrackers because I've played the game already and actually got credits. And then also I'm going to be doing book club next week as well with the book crafters. So go check out on Discord. And I'm also going to be posting a bunch of stuff because I am planning on doing a bunch of cooking this weekend. So go and check out my photos of cooking, and you can go check me out over on X, Blue Sky, whenever I've decided to do my first post, and over at twitch.tv/Loranix. I've never made a post on Blue Sky yet. It's just sitting there.
What will it be?
Who knows? Probably I'm gonna create the longest video game title ever, and it's gonna start off with Detective Instinct.
Look, it's a great Extra Life opportunity. What if somebody donates $100 and can write your first Blue Sky post?
You know what? I'm scared. But
You know
here
what?
we are.
We'll do it for $75 for Carpool Gaming. You guys can write a Carpool Gaming tweet or whatever.
Yeah.
For a donation. Yeah, write these down, everybody. This is just coming off the top of the dome. This is fun.
Yeah.
This is very good. All right. Anything else?
Nope, not today.
As for me, you can find me on Blue Sky, CPG Sean. Find me all over the Discord. Of course, links are in the show notes. Find me Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays most. Actually, next week is going to be a little tricky, but most mornings I'm trying to do twitch.tv/carpoolgaming live. And next week, The Outer Worlds 2, Ninja Gaiden 4. So much coming up for you guys. We're in Game Pass-ageddon. It's just absolutely crazy. And really, the thing I should just highlight, if I haven't done a good enough job already, extra-life.org/participant/carpoolgaming. This is it. We are on the road to Extra Life. We're going to raise at least $10,000, but we can't do it. We can't sit around waiting for the next person to donate. You've got to do it. We need you on this. You're going to win great prizes. We're going to have a great time all together raising money for those big, beautiful kids. I cannot wait. Do the thing. You'll feel great about doing it. I've never had somebody donate and go like, wow, I really regretted that. Like you're going to feel amazing afterwards, and you're going to help us reach our goal. Do the thing. Thank you, everybody who supports us at patreon.com/carpoolgaming. You are also amazing. There's so much amazingness happening, especially our ultimate producers, Brendan Myers, a.k.a. _Winter Gamer. I'll be seeing you very soon, my friend, as well as Jonathan Brown. Check out the Hoodlin Rumble on Kickstarter. I think that might actually be done now, perhaps, but go to linktra.ee/pme.jib. Check out all the things. Listen to PME on Apple Music and Spotify, whether you're in the bathtub, just having a nice little bubble bath. If you're going to sleep, if you're working, if you're running, whatever you're doing, listen to PME. Enjoy the sweet, sweet music. Thank you to our platinum producers, Benny, Smokin_Yo, The Captain, and Uncle Tim Paullin, and all of our gold members, Adam, Anna, Awesome Dave 1337, Brad Brad Moore, Brian Reese, Cecily Carrozza, Dan and Luma, Dannohh, Emily O'Kelly, Hambone Jonny, Giovanni32, Laura Ligerwoods 330. I almost messed that up. Mr. Giggles, OldMrFrump, Peje EP, Stephen Keller, and TechMike, Technical Michael. You wonderful people. It is incredible. All the support you guys have fills us up with energy, has me running my mouth a million miles an hour. This is the end of episode 407 of the Xbox Drive. Say goodbye to the people. Fee.
Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Xbox Drive. Now, before you drive off, be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube and follow Carpool Gaming on socials. Don't forget that we've got some awesome Xbox Drive merch on carpoolgaming.com, and you can also support the show on Patreon at patreon.com/carpoolgaming for exclusive content. Links to everything are in the description. We'll see you next week.